Alright, so this news is actually really funny. It's looking like PlayStation actually did want Bluepoint to work on remastering that Bloodborne game that was made by FromSoft, by Mizaki, I think that's how you pronounce his name, his last name at least, Mizaki. He's the guy who created the game. He's the guy that's working on Duskbloods for the Nintendo Switch 2, exclusive for the Nintendo Switch 2, may I add. But yeah, it's looking like he's the reason that game is not going to be remastered for the PlayStation 5. So basically, PlayStation, they were going to have Bluepoint try to remaster that game, remaster Bloodborne for the PlayStation 5. And Miyazaki was like, fuck you. You ain't remastering that game. Fuck you. We ain't doing that. So, isn't it kind of funny how this Bloodborne game is PlayStation's IP, it's their intellectual property, but yet somehow they can't do whatever they want with it. They got to get permission from the creator who actually worked on the game. They can't just, have Bluepoint work on it themselves. This is hilarious. This just shows you that, PlayStation and Sony, they don't command respect the same way Nintendo does, because Nintendo, if you guys don't remember, not too long ago, I made a video about this, I made a post about this. Nintendo, it was confirmed by a developer from Sega, that when they did the Mario vs. Sonic at the Olympic Games, they got in trouble by Nintendo because on the cover they had Sonic's foot in front of Mario's foot, and Nintendo got onto them. They said, no, you need to change that. You need to put Mario's foot in front of Sonic's foot in order to convey the message that Mario is actually faster than Sonic. And they literally just crapped their pants. We're like, oh, shoot, damn it, we fucked up. Yeah, we'll take care of it, Nintendo. We'll take care of it. So Sega, the ones who created Sonic, because Nintendo straight up told them, you need to change that damn cover on Mario vs. Sonic at the Olympic Games to convey the message that Mario is much faster. Because Nintendo said that, they did it. They took orders from Nintendo, as they should. They recognized Nintendo as the boss, and they followed orders, and they made that happen. And because of that, that means that Mario is canonically faster than Sonic. So, isn't it funny, though, how PlayStation, they own Bloodborne. The Bloodborne is their IP. And yet FromSoft is like, no, fuck you. You ain't remastering that. You ain't touching it. Leave it alone. Don't do anything. We're making Duskbloods for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's going to be exclusive to the Switch 2. So yeah, don't be fucking making no damn Bloodborne remaster. And PlayStation's like, oh, okay, sorry. We're just going to shut down Bluepoint Studios instead. We'll just do that, It shows how pathetic, PlayStation is. Everybody wants to say they're the market leader. No, they ain't the market leader. They're pussies. All right? They're a bunch of pansies. They're shutting down studios, canceling games, losing all this money, laying off so many different workers and whatnot. And they can't even run their own company. They can't be the fucking boss or anything. They can't even get a studio to just remaster their own game, their own franchise, simply because the creator who actually worked on it and made it come to life said no. He said, no, that ain't happening. You ain't letting Bluepoint remaster that game. If it's Nintendo's IP, it's gonna happen. Nintendo is gonna say, no, we're remastering this game. You ain't doing shit. Nintendo just have that respect. They command respect, and they do it better than anybody else. Nobody commands respect the way Nintendo does. So, they were able to just come into, Hollywood, which was PlayStation's domain for 36 years. 36 years, Hollywood was PlayStation's domain. Originally, Sony was going to be the ones to work on, I'm saying it's PlayStation's domain. It's Sony's domain is what I meant to say, but it's been Sony's domain for 36 years. They were originally going to make the Mario movie, but they kept being stupid, and they were trying to change things up or whatever, and Nintendo just kept bossing them around, saying, no, you're not doing that. Nope, you're not doing that. It's supposed to stay true to the character. And by their own admission, Sony said, "Oh yeah, Nintendo was extremely strict, and they were not allowing us to do things differently." So Nintendo ended up taking the project away from Sony, because originally they were the ones that were going to make the movie. That was many years ago. I remember that during the Wii U era. But Nintendo took that away from them, and so, all right, we'll just get somebody else to do it. And the movie ended up doing $1 billion at the box office, just crushing Uncharted, crushing all these other movies that were based on PlayStation IPs, crushing other successful Sony movies. And so what did Sony do? Okay, hey, we'll cooperate, and we'll help you guys make the next Nintendo movie, which is, of course, the Zelda movie. So, PlayStation, Sony, they don't command the kind of respect that Nintendo does. None whatsoever. There's also, I don't know the name of that team that makes the Helldivers 2 game, but if I'm not mistaken, the reason Helldivers 2 is on Xbox is because they said it was going to go to Xbox. They were just like, they didn't give a shit if PlayStation and Sony wanted it to or not. They were just like, yeah, we're putting Helldivers 2 on Xbox. So, anyways, yeah, I just thought this was something really funny to find out about, and it's kind of funny. People are like, oh, so FromSoft, they're the bad guys in all this. Such a plot twist, such a plot twist. We all thought it was PlayStation that didn't want to go forward with remaking or remastering Bloodborne. No, it was FromSoft and their creator. He was the one that said, no, you're not doing that. You're not gonna let Bluepoint Studios make that game or remaster it. So, and because PlayStation and Sony, because they're very weak, they were like, okay, yeah, sure, we won't do that, and in fact, we're just going to shut down the studio all entirely. Anyways, you guys let me know what you think about all this. I think it's really funny. It just shows how weak they are. It shows that they're not truly the market leader, because a market leader wouldn't let the producer of a game that happens to still be owned by them tell them what to do with that IP. It's their IP. It's PlayStation's intellectual property, and yet they're allowing the guy who worked on the game to tell them what they can and can't do with it. So Nintendo is clearly the market leader here, guys, not PlayStation. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later.